So let's talk Wisconsin versus James Madison. This is the trendy 12-5 pick that everyone's making. Everyone right away when the brackets came out, that's everyone's upset pick. Alongside McNeese State, Gonzaga. And we saw what happened in that McNeese State Gonzaga game. Gonzaga dominated. I think back to last year when San Diego State was the trendy 12-5 upset pick. They were the runners-up for the national championship. Oftentimes when everyone's skewing towards one way in this 12-5 matchup, it doesn't happen. All right, it doesn't happen. James Madison's a really good team. They're 31-3. Even if you're not playing the best of competition, you got to be cold to be 31-3. They beat Michigan State first game of the season. I remember watching that game, and they were clutch. They closed that game out. But Michigan State shot 1 of 20 from 3 in that game. I'm impressed that Michigan State took that game to overtime and almost had a chance to win, despite the fact that they went 1 of 20 from 3. I look at Wisconsin, I see them as a little bit longer, a little bit stronger, and a little bit more athletic than James Madison. James Madison's a good team. Like I said, they have a lot of quad 4 wins. They're 22-0 against quad 4. Wisconsin's a little bit more battle tested against great teams. Terrence Edwards is the real deal, though, for James Madison. He's a bucket. I imagine Max Klesmit is going to start off on him. You'll see some John Blackwell on him. But especially if Klesmit's groin is not 100%. He got hurt in that Illinois game, and he aggravated it. That could be a problem. If Edwards pops off, obviously that could be a problem for Wisconsin. But James Madison has some size. Bigger staff, he's solid down low. The freshman Jalen Carey off the bench, he's solid down low. But I think there's an advantage with Crowell and Wall for Wisconsin to have good games. And Wall has to step it up from the Big Ten tournament. I think he was a little banged up, but Wall has to step up his level of play. He was the most consistent guy throughout the season. Then he kind of disappeared when Wisconsin went on that big run. Another key point for Wisconsin is Chucky Hepburn. Looked like a top 5 point guard in all of college basketball in that Big Ten tournament. The last 12 games or so, he has looked fantastic. He's figuring out that balance of being a facilitator and a scorer. And for Wisconsin to make a deep run, Chucky's got to continue this play. He was a menace on both ends of the court in the Big Ten tournament. He's been shooting well from 3, which is huge. And he dominated Braden Smith in their head-to-head matchup. So I think if I had to pick one guy for an X Factor, it's a team thing. Everyone's going to have to show up and do their role. But Chucky Hepburn would be my biggest pick for the X Factor. And I'm going to take the Badgers in this game because I do expect Chucky to keep up his recent level of play. And I just think if Wisconsin can get that ball down to the block and start scoring, it could be a long night for James Madison. Just a little bit too much length, too much strength, like I mentioned. And they got to control the tempo. Wisconsin, this team likes to play faster than your typical Wisconsin teams. But James Madison, they really love to get up and down that court. They can score. So Wisconsin's got to win that tempo battle. And James Madison does do a solid job of taking care of the ball, and they're good defensively. Teams shoot terribly from 3 against them. I think 28% on the season. They're fantastic. Their 3-point defense. And then also they force a lot of steals. They are, 16th in the country in steals per game. They're legit. But I'm going to pick the Badgers. The trendy 12-5 upsets, it doesn't always happen. So I got the Badgers. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is your first video with me, make sure to like and subscribe for more college basketball content. And I'll see you next time.